And he says, I like them to call me corn sugar. This is what it is. The sad thing is, how sweet is corn? Anyway, so look at the process that it has to go through to get out corn sugar out of corn. But that's what it is. It's corn sugar. Please, if you have the time, rent the movie, watch the movie, Food Inc. It will open your eyes to a lot of things. If you watch that and like it, you will find another movie that is excellent. It's called Food Matters. Watch those two. It's shocking. Wallahi, it is shocking. Anyway, so everything that you see here, all the good stuff that we like, food juices, I tell the kids, watch out for those too, because it has 36 grams of serving of sugar. Cakes, anything that is white, bread, baked, all the good bits stuff, all the packaged stuff, you name it. The sugar crash. What is the sugar crash? So this is the sugar crash, come on. The sugar crash is the fact that when you go ahead and eat a Snickers bar, you get this massive insulin spike that gets you all nice and jumpy and all happy. But the problem is because it was so sudden and quick, the normal glucose level in your bloodstream goes below normal as an impact of this high sugar insulin spike. And now you are below normal, and now you look like this. Oh, I can't believe I'm so sleepy. Oh, the sugar crash. Exactly. However, when you eat a banana, you go up and down, and you're still in the normal range. Not only that, this is such a simple sugar, breaks down very quickly. A banana, complex sugar, a wheat bread, something that's a little bit more wholesome, it will take a long time to break. And rather than taking one big chunk of energy, a bottle of gasoline, and dump it on a fire, you take log that's going to burn slowly. Every time you have a sugar spike, a rush, you have a crash. Every time you have a crash, you have two things. You slow down, and you become more hungry. Because now your body's telling you, yo, wait, hold on a second, your brain is saying, I'm low on sugar. You need to give me some sugar again. So what do? Oh, I gotta go and get another candy. And you go up and down on this yo-yo. Meanwhile, your body becomes not any more sensitive to insulin. And that's exactly why, eventually, people develop diabetes. Their body doesn't recognize insulin anymore. I see you every 5 minutes. Another way people think about it the same way, right now they're talking about how stress level in general, makes people get more sick easily. When you stress, your body releases corticosteroids from the adrenal cortex. This is something that should be released only when you're injured, when you're sick, really sick. But when you're stressed, your body also releases it. The problem is when your body releases it over and over and over, it gets used to it, and it becomes tolerant. It develops tolerance to it. So when you are really sick, and you're trying to fight the initial beginning of a cold, and your body says, oh, we have a real situation here, and start releasing corticosteroids, your body says, no, you've been crying wolf for too long, I'm not going to care. Same way. Complex carbs, good stuff. High fiber content. I taught, when I was at Rush, I taught nutrition students. And I said, well, anything that's high fiber. So I go ahead and you look at this beautiful Wonder Bread that is also whole wheat. And I'm saying, I'm getting whole wheat. It's healthy, right? She said, one of my students said, no. These are nutritionists. They're nutrition master students. I said, no, you need to get things that are at least 3 grams per serving. Otherwise, it's nothing but a fluff. Really? Wonder Bread, go look at it. It says 2 slices, it will give you approximately 3 grams of fiber. That's not good enough. So I get really things that are very high in fiber. You would say it says high in fiber on it. You'll find it in the bread section, toast I'm talking about. Get the stuff that is rough. My kids are not going to like it. Guess what? When there's nothing else at home, they will eat it. And kids adapt. And they forgot all about white bread. The problem is me. I don't want to forget about white bread. Anyway, okay, so So usually they're darker in color, they're rougher in texture, take longer to digest. When you put it in your mouth and start chewing on it, it doesn't taste sweet, it's more rubbery. That's the good stuff. I don't want you to go ahead and like tie a rubber, right? Nice. You don't want veggies, carbs. Veggies are a good source of carbs, but also a good source of fiber. All this good stuff in here, lots of stuff, spinach, anything that is green is excellent, lots of vitamins in it obviously. That vitamins is a whole other topic that I'm not going to get into. Anyway, so all the stuff that usually escape and go away from. Question? Okay. So how to reduce weight then? We want to take and reduce that diet, the carb intake from carb. And actually, it's still there, but unfortunately, I have it in here. I dampened this color a little bit. And reduce the fat intake and increase your protein intake, and this will change it. Here, I used to say this, and I used to say you need to reduce the carbs from 60% of your intake to 40, your cholesterol, your fat, lower it, or to 30, lower it, but now I am saying here 30, and increase your protein to 30. And guess what? Recently, and this has been going on a lot, it's called the 40-30-30 diet, or also called the zone diet. It's developed by a biochemist, Barry Sears. I don't think it's related to the tower. Anyway, it is an easy way. When you follow this diet, and that's just like the doctor said, it is not only taking pills, it is a life change. You're eating healthy, you're exercising. Because of the eating, the percentages, and please, if you're interested, look this up. The book is out there. There's lots of programs that are based on this, either called the zone diet or the 40-30-30 diet, or just sometimes short 30-30 diet. When you do your diet the right way, when you increase your protein intake, you reduce your carb intake, look what happens when you diets that are high in protein. This is based on metabolic rate. You increase it. Look when you eat carbs alone, when you eat protein alone, how much your metabolic rate goes up. The fact that is your body, when you eat numerous times a day, not one meal that is this big and survive the rest of the day on it, your body says, oh, you're giving me food, I gotta do something with it. So it raises the metabolic rate. One way of bodybuilders that used to actually get put on the muscles and get cut is to eat more. They eat about 7-8 times a day very quickly. And what that does is that it forces their body that thinking, I'm eating a lot of stuff, I better use it. Alright, so here's a couple of things. This is also I learned from my students. You hear this word over and over, probiotics, probiotics, probiotics. What are probiotics? They're living organisms, bacteria that you get out of, for instance, in yogurt. It has been associated with a lot of health. Yes, it is excellent for you. But just eating yogurt doesn't cut it. It is very tied with fiber. And I know about this because this is a study that they were doing at Rush. When I was actually, this is one of the students that I was helping do their master's, is doing this research. It's on fiber. Fiber, apparently, I mean, this is, look at this. This is according to Harvard School of Medicine. Fiber reduces the risk of heart disease by as much as 40%. Why? Why is that? Because when you eat fiber, it fixes as well your cholesterol. How is that working? And this is the research they were just doing last year at Rush. Well, you have all kinds of different bacteria, normal flora that lives in your gut, lactobacillus, bifidobacterium, all kind of bacteria that lives in your gut. Well, this stuff, this bacteria, they produce as energy, as a byproduct, lactic acid, which is a good source of energy for us. It's basically yogurt. But at the same time, they go ahead and produce a lot of short fatty acids, specifically butyric, acidic, and propionic acid. Well, these things are used in fatty acid, in steroid synthesis. So what I understood from my teachers, my students, depends on what kind of fibers you eat. You actually select certain type of bacteria. Some bacteria like certain fibers more than others. And the bacteria that actually breaks down the steroids for you or uses the substance to make steroids are the ones that feed off of the fibers. So if you eat fiber, the bacteria is going to use up those short fatty acids, and your body has to go looking elsewhere to build its own steroids. And so reduces cholesterol by breaking down what's inside. Now, there's a whole field of therapy through nutrition. I am not a nutritionist. And I think, along with what the doctor said, along with that early detection, I think which is amazing, that picture that you have in front of you, I do a lecture about atherosclerosis and heart disease, and I have that picture in there. And I show that picture to parents, and I say, you know what, that picture, just like that picture in there, it says where the sponge cells start folding, the foam cells start happening, the first plaques start happening. And I don't know if the doctor would agree with me, but I learned that this happens within the first decade of life. Very early on. Look at that picture in front of you. That first streak happens within the first 10 years of life. So my 7-year-old could be developing this, depending on what I feed him. So parents, grandparents, this is very important. Oh, he's a little kid, you don't have to worry about it, it's okay. I know how my mom cooks. And when my mom starts cooking, making our Bukhari, was rice, Bukhari rice, similar to a biryani, halal. This is how she starts. She opens the bottle of oil, blop, 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 blop. Now that's done. Now she goes ahead and tosses the red meat already. It's, oh my God. All right? Now when we cook, my wife and I go, dip, and that's it. Oh, but it's okay, it's little kids who are eating it. They need to fatten up. I guess my kids are like, you know, they can hide behind the sugar cane, all right? But no, even if they're that little and they're skinny, and you need to fatten them up, my mom says, no, it's not the fattening them up. It's also, what am I putting in there? Believe it or not, after I started learning and doing all of this, I cut out red meat in my house. We eat lots of chicken and, you know, fish, and this is why, you know, we did not want to be people who don't follow what we preach. That's why we're feeding you, or we fed you chicken and fish today rather than biryani. But make that little change at home. They're not going to like it at the beginning, but wallahi, they will thank you later on. Okay. Okay, use less oil while you're cooking. If, ladies, gentlemen, if you're cooking also, if the pan that you finish cooking in, and you let it sit on the side, and you go have your meal and come back, and it has a nice little white plaque at the bottom of it, oh my God. This is what it's doing on the outside. Think what it's doing on the inside. That's what I keep telling you. If it develops this, and this is what you get from frying or cooking anything with red meat. Bad. Stay away from it. Your kids. Okay, so that guy, as I said, he ate so many eggs, and this is what happened to him. I, since then, also, oh, but they're kids, it's all right. I look it up. Go ahead, the American Pediatric Association tells you no more than 1 egg, even for a child. It's got 215 milligrams of cholesterol. That's more than plenty. 1 egg. My kid loves egg. He wants to eat too. It's like, no, sorry. We'll have it tomorrow. Myth number 2. Abstaining, starvation from eating for a week will reduce my weight. Yeah, it will make you get into those pants, it will make you get into that dress. But guess what? For a short time. Because then you're going to force your body into thinking that you are in starvation mode. And accordingly, it's going to sort of go, whoa, we are starving. Don't burn anything. Slow down the metabolic rate. Slow it down because, you know, we don't know how long we're going to be starving. We need to save every little piece of energy. Don't burn anything. Keep it here. Keep the chairs. Keep the walls. Keep everything. Don't do anything. And sure enough, you lose a little bit weight, but then it's like, oh, I'm done. I lost 5 pounds. After starving yourself for about 2 or 3 weeks. When you start eating again, that metabolic rate is so below the ground here that the moment you look at food, you're going to start putting it on just like that. Ladies, this myth is for you. If I start lifting weight, I'm gonna start looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, you won't. Okay? You're not gonna look bulk up. You don't have the chemistry for it. You don't have testosterone that much of it. Then you build it. You're not gonna build the muscle. Lifting weights, doing the exercises is only gonna make you leaner. It's gonna make those muscles use the energy and burn it. And the ugly reality is this, and this guy, the doctor is telling this, the gentleman, what fits your busy schedule? Working out and exercising 1 hour a day or being dead 24 hours a day. The doctor said this. How long did you work out for? And your HDL within what? Within 3 weeks? Went up this much? That's it. It's that simple. It's that simple. Okay, that's it. This is the whole thing about how muscle grows and whatever, but I think this is really, very quickly, there's two things to do. You eat right and you work out the right way. Eating right, you need to remember that insulin is a really key, important player. You have to learn that there's an insulin growth hormone dance that happens between the two. If your insulin, growth hormone is what you need to build muscle and burn fat. As simple as that. Growth hormone. Wait a second. I'm an old man. I don't have growth hormone anymore. My kids is a running ball of growth hormone, but not me. No, we still have growth hormone. Growth hormone is released very small little sprouts when we fall asleep first or during exercise. So when only exercising on a small little sleep, when you first sleep, first 5 minutes of REM sleep, or when you are exercising, you release growth hormone. But growth hormone and insulin, they're the same family. They're antagonistic of each other. They don't like each other. They're like cousins. All right? If one is in the playground, the other one doesn't come out and play at all. The problem is when you eat, who has precedence over? Insulin. If you eat, insulin comes out, whether like it or not. And this is the biggest mistake. What do you do before you go work out? Oh, I need some energy. Let me eat a bar of Snickers. Wrong. You eat Snickers or you eat something sweet, you eat something before you go work out, insulin goes up, growth hormone is not going to be anywhere, and all your workout is for no reason. So when you work out, don't eat before you work out for at least 3 hours, don't sleep, and after you work out, don't sleep after eating right away. Eat 2-3 hours, go to bed. Last thing, serving size. Try to control that hedonic eating by controlling the serving size of your foods to this. SubhanAllah, this is perfect. I also said 1/3. If you do this of rice, this of a chicken breast, basically this of fish, it's perfect. Do that, load up on salads and other empty things, and that's it. I finish with this hadith of Rasulullah said that the translation, the dearest of all actions to Allah Azza wa Jalla is the ones that are consistent, even if it is little. I don't need to read a Quran every day. But if I read half a page a day, but I did it every single day, that's more dearest to Allah. And I say the same thing about exercise. You don't need to go out and run a marathon. But if you went outside and walked just once around your block, that's a good start, as long as you maintain. Thank you so much. Sorry for the delay.
You can turn the lights on.
Thank you, Dr. Mirza. That was a very inspiring speech. I think I'm going to start watching what I'm eating now. And I need